Welcome back to White Sox Weekly here on ESPN 1000. I'm Connor McKnight. My guest this morning is Nick Madrigal, White Sox second baseman. Nick joins us from Arizona on Zoom and the radio. Technology is amazing. Nick, thanks a lot, man. Appreciate it. Great talking with you. How are you?
I'm good. Yeah, thanks for having me, Connor. Everything is good here. It's nice to be back on the field in sunny Arizona.
So there was live BP today. There was defense today. And White Sox fans want to know. I know you've spoken with reporters just a little bit. How's the shoulder? Where are you at health-wise? How is Nick Madrigal?
Yeah, the shoulder's feeling good. It feels like every single week it's gotten a lot better. I was actually talking to the training staff today, some of the coaches, about when I would be making my debut for the spring training, and we're kind of eyeballing right around the 8th through 11th, those days. I'm not sure which one it's going to be yet, but right in that time frame, either the 8th through the 11th. And then just kind of working through it. I'm sure I'm not going to be playing every single day. Once I come back, probably a game on, game off, and then just seeing how it goes. But yeah, it's feeling really good at this point. There's some soreness here and there, but it's kind of normal for that to happen. And yeah, it's exciting right now.
What are the vibes in camp like? This is just I have to imagine it feels somewhat normal being around the guys, having a team, but we are still in a very different era, right? I mean, the fact that you and I are doing this over Zoom and not on a backfield somewhere means that we're not back to life as usual yet.
Yeah. It's not normal by any means, but I think there's a lot. There's something different about this camp. There's a spark and an excitement, and from the players to the coaches, and the way the whole setup has been this spring training, it's been great. We've been facing live pitching. There's been some battling from pitchers to position players, trying to, dominate each other. And I think that's the way it should be, on great teams, there's always competition, and it's kind of what we have in camp so far. So it's been great.
Has there been a show-stopping matchup, one where you're like, it's Hendricks against Robert or something like that? What's the one everybody ran over to see?
It's kind of funny. Almost every live session, all of the pitching staff is around watching, so they're cheering on whoever's on the mound, and they get all fired up. If one of the position players get out, like I broke a bat the other day against one of the pitchers, and they were giving me a hard time about it. And
you gonna name him? Who broke the bat?
It was Tyler Johnson. Yeah, he got me. He throws hard, and
he does.
Yeah, he broke my bat, and the pitching staff got a laugh out of that one. And yeah, it seems like every single day, we're going out there. The hitters are trying to embarrass the pitchers, and the pitchers are trying to embarrass us. So it's kind of fun out there.
Here's what's wild. So Nick Madrigal is our guest here on White Sox Weekly. Here's what's wild to me about your baseball reference page and just the kind of weirdness of 2020. You had 103 at bats, but you are still Rookie of the Year eligible in 21. You have 3 playoff starts, but you're still Rookie of the Year eligible in 21. What do those playoff starts do for your mindset specifically? How are you kind of like organizing that experience into what will officially be your rookie campaign, despite the fact that you did so much and played so well when you were in there?
Yeah, I think all of last year it was nice to be up there and get a little bit of taste of it. So I kind of have in the back of my mind what everything's like this year. From the ballparks to the other teams and just everything that comes with it. So I'm excited to go out there and feel a little bit more comfortable with everything this year, and especially with the full season, I'm excited to see what I can do. And I think those playoff, games are huge, not only for myself, but everyone on the team. We're trying to make a deep run into the playoffs and go as far as we can, and, do something special this year. So I think it's big that we had those games last year.
What kind of player are you in terms of letting something like that? Do you ground out in a BP and it's like, nope, can't do that against Oakland. That Oakland thing doesn't go the way we want it to. If I do this again, do you put it behind you? Like, where do you kind of categorize and put stuff away or versus hold on to it?
Yeah, I mean, when I go out there, I mean, I'm focused on, every single day. I'm not really worried about, the future, the playoffs. It's on all of our minds to to be in the playoffs and to do well. But I mean, all of us got to focus on the day and try to do as best we can, and push each other. And I think that's what great teams do. They work as hard as they can, and iron sharpens iron out there. Each man, from the coaching staff to the players, we got to do as best we can every single practice, and not get ahead of ourselves is what I'm trying to say. So yeah, I think that's the big thing.
Let's say, play a hypothetical with me. Let's say that the one thing you know about me is that I can play second base defensively. I can't. I mean, I'd be atrocious. But let's say I could. If I were going to go suit up for a game and play second with Tim Anderson as my shortstop, what sort of things would I need to know as a second baseman about how you and Tim work together so that when I get in there, things are at least somewhat smooth and I can play a little bit like you guys would?
Yeah, I think I mean, communication's huge. He likes before the ball is hit, we're talking constantly. If the ball's here, I got this spot, or if the ball's here, I got this spot, so yeah, just working with TA almost every single pitch, we're talking. And he has a lot of range. He's very athletic, so you got to understand that he can cover more than most people, more range than most shortstops out there. So you kind of have to have that in the back of your mind. And with Abreu being a good first baseman, even Makata at third, you have a really good infield around you. So yeah, I think it's a lot of fun playing with those guys. And yeah, I think you could do it.
I couldn't. It'd be terrible, just atrocious. Well, actually, I could if I just let Tim do everything. Like that's the way I get by. Just let Tim handle it all. What were your thoughts? If you can take me through them. You're the White Sox starting second baseman, presumably. I would imagine, it's still at your age. You're like, okay, it's a spot I got to go earn, but you got that. When they get Lance Lynn, when they get Hendricks, when your team is picking up guys that are purpose made to go take down your opposition, what goes through your head?
It's exciting, because these guys are ready to go. They're ready to win. We didn't pick up prospects, or, for a couple years down the road. It's this year or nothing, I know all the guys that the new guys that we acquired, they have that on their minds. Some guys have playoff experience that, we picked up, and I think that's huge. And I know, the rest of the team was excited once we added some guys. And yeah, I mean, we have all the pieces, and we have the coaching staff and all the right guys. So at the end of the day, we just got to get it done at this point.
Spending a few more minutes with Nick Madrigal here on White Sox Weekly. Have you spoken with Andrew Vaughn a little bit yet?
I have, yeah. We've gotten real close. We almost every day I go over his house after practice, and we're playing pool together in different games, and yeah, we've gotten very close.
Who wins in pool most?
I think it's 50-50 between me and him. It's his house, so he practiced a little bit more on the pool table. So,
Sure.
but I'm getting better as we go.
What are you guys racking? 8-ball, 9-ball?
8-ball pool. Yep, 8-ball. The table we play on, it's a little bit funky. Has dips and curves and different home strategies. So I'm still trying to learn all that. So yeah, it's a lot of fun.
Is Vaughn one of the guys that like grew up with a pool table but doesn't tell you about it until he kicks your ass like 6 or 7 times?
Right. Yeah, I think you're right. He's one of those guys. He'll miss a couple balls at first just to kind of hustle you a little bit, and then we got money on the table. And yeah, it's a lot of fun though.
What's the conversation with him like regarding the fact that, like you, top 5 draft pick, major league expectations before most other people thought you would get a taste?
Yeah. We've talked about it, what if the opportunity came, if he was up here to start the season. I mean, he's excited if it happens, if it doesn't happen, if it's a couple weeks into the season or whatever it may be. I mean, he's ready. I'm really pulling for him to be on the opening day roster. I truly believe he's ready. I've seen every single day the at bats he takes against the starting rotation or starting relievers, for our team. And I think he's as good as anyone out there. So I'm pulling from. I know some of the guys on the team, have seen his swing and know that it can help our ball club this season. So, but it's, at the end of the day, I mean, it's out of his hands. I know he's going to come ready every single day to play, and we'll see what happens.
The 2 strikes, oh boy, let me do that again. The 2 strikes thing, Nick. What's the deal? Come on.
A lot of people ask me, what do I do differently with two strikes? What happens? How do I do it? I don't think there's really one answer to it. I've always been like that growing up. I've practiced it a lot. I don't know. I think people that strike out a lot, they're in the back of their minds, they're worried about striking out and kind of, get a little bit nervous with two strikes. But for me personally, I don't get nervous with two strikes. I don't see it any differently than, the first pitch of their bat.
Do you know what you're hitting with two strikes?
People have told me before, but I don't remember what
It's
it
large.
was.
It's preposterous. It's 600. It's absolutely. But do you have a foul one off swing? You know what I'm talking? Like you're so contact oriented, and for a lot of hitters, you do get into spots. I mean, listen, these guys pitching are really good. You may have to spoil one here or there. Do you have one of those?
Definitely, yeah, definitely. If there's a pitch that is close to the zone that I think the umpire might, ring me up on, sometimes I do just try to foul it off and get another pitch because, it's really hard for pitchers to throw two of the same pitches, right on the corner or, right there. So, in the back of my mind, I know that. And, sometimes I try to foul it off. Sometimes I accidentally put it in play. Sometimes I get a hit on it. But yeah, I think, I was, when growing up, my dad always told me, put the ball in play, good things can happen, I'm fortunate enough to be able to run a little bit. So if I hit the ball in the 6th hole, I can try to beat it out. And yeah, I've always worked on it though.
What is good, solid growth for Nick Madrigal in 2021?
I think that could be a number of things, I think I can get better with, just getting on base, different ways, taking my walks, hitting the ball, pulling the ball, just doing a number of things, stealing bases. I think there's a number of things I can work on and continue to grow. I think, I think the game of baseball is special where, you could have 8 years in the show, but you're still growing every single year. I don't think there's one player that's got baseball completely figured out, so yeah, I'm excited to learn some things along this year, through the ups and downs. And yeah, I'm excited.
You'll have fans when you start playing. I mean, by the time you're back and working in the lineup, you'll have fans. You guys chattering about that yet? Are you guys ready for a little bit of noise?
Yeah, I know a lot of people are excited for that, especially having our families at the games and, being able to see that. And, my family hasn't seen me in person yet in a White Sox uniform. So I'm excited to, see them in the stands and be able to share that moment with them.
Oh, we'll pumped to see you in the lineup as soon as you're ready to go. Nick Madrigal, thanks so much for joining us. Really appreciate it. We'll talk again soon.
Perfect. Thanks for having me.